Good morning and happy Friday. Today is June 30th and this is the DHS Technical Assistance Call. Can you believe half the year is over already? My goodness gracious. Anyway, we've got a lot of stuff to cover today, and so I want to be very cognizant of everybody's time. So what I'm going to do is start in with the dashboard talk. And just to let you know that we have, I'm going to share my screen here. I'll give you guys a second to check in. And then I've got some people marking that there are some questions, so we want to make sure that we cover those as well. But I'm going to share my screen. And let me make this bigger. All right, can everybody see my screen? If you can, please raise your hand with the little man at the top of the screen. I'm going to make it a bit bigger here. All right, good, good, good. All right, so all right, so what we've got first and foremost is we've got 455 people scheduled for orientation. That's a good thing. We're getting very, very close, but we've still got about 700 people that we need to randomize. So if we can keep working on that, that would be great. Now, we've got a big, big, big opportunity here. There's this 2,131 people in the missed orientation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up a notepad that I just made. All of these people missed orientation. I will include this in the notes so that in case you can't check real fast. But this is, of that 2,131 people, this is how many people are by office. So my suggestion to you is to go in, find these people, check to see if they are still eligible, and if they are still eligible, call them back in for a new orientation. I think that's 2,000 people right there. If we got half of those, we'd be done with random assignment right now, as long as they all showed up. So if we can get that taken care of, that would be wonderful. The next line on the dashboard that I have a number showing in is the incomplete application older than 24 hours. That is at Northwest. So McMorris, if you're on the call, let's get that person called in. Mitchell, I don't know what office you're at, but if you want to give me a call after the webinar, I can walk that through with you. And I'm working from the home office today, so I'm going to put that in here. And just give me a jingle after the webinar after we're done. Then the next piece is ready for review by DHS caseworker. And that has 5 people in it. So 3 of them are from Rockford. 1 is from St. Clair. 1 is from Southeast. So that St. Clair is down in East St. Louis. And Southeast is in Region 1. The next item on the list is needs to be scheduled for consent. And that would be 3 in Rockford, 3 in East St. Louis, and 1 in Southeast. And then we're good with the rest of the dashboard. We've got 2,145 people assigned to a CBO, and we'll go over the dashboard or the intake numbers in just a second. I want to go to the enrolled dashboard. And this was taking a little bit of time to think a few minutes ago, so it might do that again. Okay, Pam, does Hortensia have a intake? Does she have an Illinois WorkNet account? If not, we need to get her signed up, and then we'll need to add her to the list because she's not on my list to contact. Okay, on the enrolled dashboard, there's only a couple of lines that you guys really need to look at on a regular basis, and I didn't get a chance to get all the way through all of the numbers by office here. But we've got 8 people who have a referral pending whose appointment has not been scheduled. Those 8 people, 3 of them are from Cal Park, 2 are from Northwest, 1 is from Humboldt, and 2 are from Western. And then referral pending, no contact from customer, recommend conciliation. We have 118 people in that list. And I was at 7 different CBOs this week, meeting with them, and we responded, if necessary, to all of those items in that line on the dashboard. So I haven't gotten a chance to get through all of the CBOs, but in most cases, this is something that the DHS office needs to take care of. So if you guys can break that down, I will send that out in the follow-up message that we send out after the webinars. Then the other line on the dashboard, this is kind of new, but we've got the CBO recommending course of action. 3 people in the list who are saying that they have marked the box that say they're no longer appropriate for provider services. DHS needs to take action on this. And then there's 130 people in the list for DHS review, recommend sanction. These are all customers who have probably missed a conciliation appointment or done something egregious that they need to be recommended for sanction. They broke their 3392 agreement, or they missed their 2846G conciliation appointment. So please check on those 130. I again will include that in the follow-up email that comes out. And then that seems to be it for the items that you guys need to take care of. So let me minimize my screen here a little bit, and we'll come back to the agenda. And the agenda says that we are going to be talking about the intake projections, and we are so very close. We've got 85.8% of our goal of 5,000 people. So congratulations on getting that far. We have had a rocky road in some cases, but we are cooking with oil now. So if you took care of those 2,100 people that missed orientation the first time around, then I'm almost betting that we would get to that number. Region 1, you're at 76.7% of your goal. Congratulations to Rockford. They're at 141% of their goal. Region 3, I know it's tough there. You're totally voluntary, but you're really chugging along. So that's a really good gauge for you guys. And then Region 4, they made it to 102% now. They're over their goal. Yay! And then Region 5, you're still rocking and rolling, 126% of goal. So that's really good. And if those of you who are still moving along can clean up that list of missed orientation and a couple of those other pieces that we have already talked about, then we can make this really work and maybe even get it done by the end of July. That would be exciting, wouldn't it? Give me a raised hand if you think that would be exciting to be done with random assignment by the end of July. Oh yeah. All right. So you guys are all as excited about this as I am. All righty. So now, one of the things that we need to do, and I'll show you how to get there with this, is we've had a couple of issues where people can't get a hold of the CBO. And one particular item was there was an office that needed to contact National ABLE. National ABLE is a national organization, and they have offices in, I think, 40 of the United States. So we really need to know who it is that we need to talk to. So what you can do, and I'm going to pull my screen up again, what you need to do is, if you are talking, or if you're trying to get a hold of somebody on the EPIC partner resources, so up in the corner where your name is, click the down arrow and you can get to the EPIC partner resources. Oh, it needs me to sign in again. All right, we're going to try this one more time. All right, so then when you get to the restricted resources page, there is a list right here that says CBO contact list for DHS staff. Now I've made some recent corrections to this, and I've got some other corrections from my visits this week, but this list will get updated. I will upload the new list, but this is the people that you need to reach out to and their phone numbers. And I will get an updated list onto the website here as soon as I can after we get off of the call today. And I have time to make those corrections. So if you want to go and get this list so that you have it in your desk, you can just come to the restricted resources page and download this PDF document. All right, the next item on our agenda, let me minimize the screen again, is that if customers are assigned to EPIC, they cannot go to JPP for 3 years. So until the study is over, they cannot go be assigned to JPP. So it's very important that you use the list, like we were just talking about, to reach out to a CBO so that in the event of the fact that you can't there's not an appointment there, don't schedule them for JPP. Just have them come back the next day or two, get in touch with the CBO, and find out about the appointments. Okay, so that is one of the things that we need to make sure that we're doing, because that will totally mess up our study numbers if we do that. Okay, I have a question from Marquise. Marquise, I'm going to answer that. I'll give you a call after the webinar, okay? All right, and okay, next item on the list is the staffing packet training. So I don't want to get to that yet. I want that to be the last thing that we do. So who has the question about the invitation process or the intake dashboard? If you want to type those into the chat pod now, we will answer those questions now for you. I'm just so excited that we have 3 regions that are over their goal for the time period. How to remove clients from the red sections. Okay, let's take a look at this. Now, I don't want to click on an actual person, so let me go to my training spot. And if we're looking at the intake dashboard, thank you, Natasha. If we look at the intake dashboard, and if we've got a customer who happens to be in one of these red lines, is that what you're talking about? So let me make this a little bit bigger as well. Yes, okay. So if the customer is in one of these red lines and they're in, say they're in this did not attend, declined Epic services at this time, you go into their profile. So I've got Lenny Binney, and I go to Lenny Binney's profile. I go to intake activities, and I can change that from attended orientation to has not attended orientation, and then you can re-invite that customer. So that is one way that you can do that. So does that answer your question? And was there a particular line that you wanted to know more about? And was that the invitation or the intake dashboard? That was the intake dashboard. All right, Mitchell's still typing. All right, let's take a look now. See, okay, we'll try that. Prior attempts have left the person still there. Yeah, and I think it might until you actually change the date on the invitation. So if you you can change them, and I will look at this with the programmer to make sure that actually happens. But my thought is that if you change the date and you make this April, May, June, let's say we'll make it July 6th, and then save. Oh, you have to click save. Sorry, my bad. Customer can be reinvited, then save. Then it should move them. So let's see if that did that. And if it didn't, yes, it moved it then. So you have to change the date, and you have to change them to can be reinvited, and then you have to click save at the bottom. So Mitchell, does that make sense to you? Yes. Yay. Okay. All right. And then Sheila Wilson from East St. Louis. Hi, Sheila. We would like to know why we would have to contact the customer after they had already started at the CBO and have gone more than once but then stopped. All right. You don't. If they do not attend the initial CBO intake orientation, they are your responsibility to get there. Then if they attend and they stop attending, the CBO has done a conciliation on them and submit a 2151A that says non-co-op recommend sanction, then you need to meet with the CBO. So does that make more sense to you? Okay, Sheila's got a follow-up question. I'm going to move on to Marquise's right now. Marquise, there are supposed to be some training programs at that community college. I think it's Heartland that's out by you. So let me follow up with Highland. Okay, let me follow up with the training provider there and find out what they're planning on doing. All right, Sheila, did that explanation make more sense to you? Sheila's still typing. The CBO issues the 2846G, calls them in for the appointment, and then issues the 2151A and posts it to the progress page for the customer. Do you need me to talk you through this a little bit more after the webinar? Yes. You may have to call the customer in again. Many of the DHS offices will call the customer in again after they miss the CBO sanction or the CBO 2846G appointment, but it's up to you to sanction them after that. And I've been on the CBOs about putting in good case notes to verify why and what. Okay, great. Great, great, great. Okay, I think I've answered all the questions in the webinar, and I think I have covered the agenda with the exception of our last piece, which is the staffing packet training. And what I want to do is show you guys this new staffing packet tool that we've been working with the CBOs for the past couple of months. Our goal is to be able to go paperless. Our goal is to be able to go over the phone. But we know that in some situations that might not be possible, but that's our dream. So I just have to tell you what our dream is. And then we are all able to see these packets in the system. So to do that, up at the top menu bar, and I'm logged in as a DHS caseworker right now. So up at the top in the menu bar, there's the little item that looks like a bar graph, and it is called the reports. So I click on the reports, and if you are in regions 2 through 5, you do not have to do a monthly staffing, although I am aware that 2 of our areas do monthly staffings. So that is, these packets are just for EPIC participants. And we could work this out. If DHS wants to hire us to do this, we could work this out for other people, but right now it's just designed for EPIC. So what our goal is for the rest of the state, regions 2 through 5, is to do a staffing at minimum quarterly, just so that we can find and resolve any issues with customers more frequently than never. So we can do this hopefully very easily by having the staffing packets available and to have this work. Now, technically, Lori, this is, the goal is for everybody in the state to do this. At this current time, the mandatory customers in Region 1 are the only ones that have to do this monthly. And that's what I was saying for Regions 2 through 5. Our goal is to have this happen quarterly. Okay, and it would be for everybody. It wouldn't just be for the mandatory customers, because even though somebody's working through things, and I understand your point, if it's voluntary customers, there's no risk for them at all, but there might be an issue that you could help them with some, maybe a referral to a particular office or agency, and those are the kind of things that the voluntary areas might be able to accomplish. Okay, so back to the demonstration here. We have the reports. So if you click on the reports, and we do have directions, and if you look in the file pod, it is the top item in the file pod. So you can pull this, download it. It will open up to a new screen, and then you can come back to the webinar. It is written so that DHS or the CBO can use the instructions, but I just wanted to show, I'm going to show you the whole process. We do have a video recorded on this. We do have another training session that was recorded on this, and we will have the recording of this webinar for you to refer back to. And just to mark the tape, we're at about the 10:26 time frame. So you would click on the staffing report. It opens up to a new window, not a new tab, but a new window. And on here, you would select the agency for which you are working. Now, as the person that I'm logged in as, I have access to about 6 offices. So depending on your access level, you might be able to pick more than one office in here. So I'm going to pick Cook County Mid-South as my DHS office, and then I'm going to pick Catholic Charities. And the staffing month is right there, so then I can filter. Right now I have a list of all of the customers. I'm going to filter this, and it's going to make me come back and pick my smaller office, and I'm going to pick Mid-South. Oh, I'm going to pick South Loop because South Loop has a customer in here. So it will tell you afterwards how many customers are associated with your office. And as you can see, I have MHODO, and it has their DHS case ID. It shows that the staffing packet has been started. Once the staffing packet is, this is a fix that we're going to do. Once the staffing packet is done and ready for your review, or ready for review by anybody, it's going to say ready for review. This will then, when you click on the started, it will take you to the actual tool where all of the information gets entered. All you would have to do, because the packet will be ready for your review, is go to the bottom and save and print package. But just to let you know what happens, this was defined by the DHS leadership team. So all of these items are in the order that the DHS leadership has told us, and the documents and paperwork that have been told to us about what is supposed to be in there. So if there's something different that you're doing in your office, then we just need to know that, so that we're all on the same page. Winnebago's asking, we do a staffing monthly. Does this mean that the CBO only has to document quarterly? If you're already doing it monthly, that's phenomenal. That's a great thing. Keep it up. Because you guys have a good track record going out there with the agency. So please, just keep doing what you're doing. We're just using this to try to make it a little bit easier for everybody. Is that okay, Winnebago? I'm not quite sure who's in that Winnebago team right now, but I know y'all are really nice people. And you're all going to be excited about this too, right? So on here, we take a look at what the I-STEP summary is, and that's what the CBO does. They make sure that the training that's happening and all of the information that's in there for the CBO is currently up to date. Then they pick the staffing 2151A. That is the item for the month. And if there happens to be more than one 2151, it's the one that they did for the staffing for the month. If there's any other documents that they are adding or want to add, for example, a 2151 because it's a new person, or 2846G because they had a conciliation appointment, or 3392 because they attended their conciliation appointment, or a 2151A that says that they didn't show up or some other change in their activity. All of those items can be uploaded, and they will all show up in the packet that gets printed. Then under View Case Notes, if I click on this, it gives me a list of all of the case notes that have been entered from the time of that staffing. So we staff a month behind, correct? So we're staffing in June for May activity. So it will include any and all case notes from the first of the month that you staff until the day that the CBO creates the staffing report. So then that opened to a new tab. You can go back. The last piece is the CBO adds a description for the 4334 form. And whatever they put in there, so note from, I'm going to just make this demonstration on 6/30/17. So I just put that in there, and I can save it as the CBO, or I can save and print the package. So anybody and everybody, DHS, CBO, us at the admin level, can save and print the package as a PDF. Okay, Pam is saying, all my CBOs bring these packets for scheduled staffings as they are required to be in the customer case file. Okay, so Pam, this is what our dream is. Our dream is that the DHS offices are able to just go in and save and print the package. It creates a PDF document. So I'm going to do that right now. And so it's downloading the file. And what could then happen, hopefully, is that, and it's opening up to a new window here, this is the packet. So if DHS requires a paper copy, an actual physical paper copy, then DHS could print off each of these packets or whatever pieces of the packet that they need to print. And then the only thing that needs to follow up is the signature on this first 4334 page. So on here, we have, if you notice, my note right here says, note from demonstration on 6/30/17. So that's what's in there. Now, the DHS leadership has agreed to the fact that we can say CI step summary on the days and hours, and the other activities, CI step summary. And as you move down through the packet, here's a 2151A that was uploaded. That was the activity update for that month. And then the other documents that were uploaded throughout the month or that were added to the packet for demonstration. And then we get to, oh my goodness, we were adding all kinds of things here. And then we get to the actual referral form. So that was a new customer. So that's on a new customer that has not been enrolled. The only document that will be in the packet is the 2151 and any case notes. And so then the case notes show up next, and they're labeled at the top with case notes. And then the last piece is for enrolled customers. They will have the I-STEP, and this is the reference to the I-STEP on that first 4334 page. So it shows you when they added what has happened, is there any updates. This person doesn't have any details on their I-STEP, but if they did, underneath this section it would be broken out to show you what steps are done and what steps have been completed or opened or started. So this is a really nice one set page package, or not one page, a one set of documents that can be used. Now, one of the things that you can do is you are able to type or click into a box. So if the participant remains eligible for participation, you can check a box, you can use a digital signature format, or you can even just type in here, signed by, Pam, I'm going to use your name, Pamela Rocio Kriesel, oops, and then type in a date. But if you have an Adobe digital signature, that can work that way as well. And then you can either save this document to your computer and upload it into the customer file. If you need a paper copy, you can print the paper copy. If you just want to save this, then you can just print the one page, delete the rest of the pages, and then this document signed by you, by DHS, can go back to the second tab. So Natasha, if you're looking at this, we have this misspelled on the test site provider. We need to check to see if that's misspelled in production. So on the provider page, all you would then do is choose a file to upload. So I'm going to go back to my Adobe document. I'm going to File, Save As, and it's going to be in my downloads. And then I'm going to save it. Yes. Then I'll go back to my browser. Where am I here? And I'm going to choose this file. And it's going to be this. Now, I'm just uploading the whole thing because I'm assuming that if you're using Adobe Reader, you don't have the ability to delete pages, but you can just print and scan the one page. You can mark that it was signed by DHS and save it. Then the CBO can go in and sign it and save it and mark that as CBO saved. And then I save it. When I go back to the staffing report, it tells me here's a document that has been signed by DHS. The CBO can click here to download the already uploaded file, sign it, and then just re-upload it. If I go back to the customer list and I pick my agency and I filter and I go to the local office, which was South Loop, and I filter. Now this is this way because I have more than one office. It won't be this way if you only have one office. Right here it says CBO DHS completed, and that way we know that the document has been signed and has been uploaded. Okay, now as I said, our dream is that we can go paperless and that we can go by phone on all of these staffings. But that is just something that is our dream, and hopefully we are able to realize it. The other thing is just to remind everybody, this is the order that the DHS leadership has instructed us to put this in. You know, we worked on this tool to make sure that everything was in a consistent order and fashion. One of the things that I would like to point out, and I'm going to go back in here and see if I can find one of these people. If it says, so for example, this A car says print 2151 only, this means that the customer was never enrolled. So they will have, like I said a little bit ago, they will only have a 2151 and any case notes. So that is all you'll see for those customers that were never enrolled. Okay. All right, and Pam, I see your point, and it's per policy. But again, I'd like to remind everybody that this is a pilot project, and what we're trying to do is see if we can make anything easier for any streamline, any activity that we might be able to work on. And as I said, it's just a dream. It's just something that we hope that we're able to accomplish just to make things easier for everybody. And, you know, we're discussing this at a leadership level, so as things move forward, they may or may not change. But as I said, it's our dream. Okay. Do we have any questions about what I showed you on the staffing packet? Does this seem like it would be something really nice for you guys to be able to get into and see and use? And again, moving down the road, one of the other changes that we're going to have is you will be able to pick any month from April of this year, so April 2017, moving all the way through to whenever we finish this program, then you will be able to access any staffing packets that were done. And they can just be recreated as simply as picking the agency and the office and picking the month that you want to staff, and then filtering, and then you would see all of the people. The other pieces on this particular page is this AP. So for example, let me go back to Catholic Charities, and let me pick this South Loop office. I'm going to filter. And right now we have just the one person. If I export the 4333 form, it gives me who the office is, where the staffing is, all of that kind of good stuff. And it tells me the person's name with just the first initial and the last name, the case number, and what the most recent 2151A is that was uploaded for the staffing. So that's what is their activity for the staffing report. So if they're active participant, and DHS leadership told us that we are using the active participant, non-cooperation, and then the canceled or ineligible. Those are the three codes that will be showing up on any of the reports that were generated by the staffing packet tool. One of the things that we would like for the DHS offices to do is, as follow-up, if this office says that the customer is going to be sanctioned or canceled, if they could mark this check if staffing needed, then save this. So file, save as, and I'm going to put Catholic Charities and South Loop. And if I save this, there's one of two things that can happen. You can either email it back to the office, or you can go to, because I believe you guys all have access to the agencies. And if I go to Catholic Charities, I can upload the 4333 with the updates on it. And oh, I just changed the order here. I can upload that, and and then I can upload it to them. That gives them the direction of what each customer is going to do moving forward. Now, if a 4333 is generated, for example, for Rockford, there's going to be like 18 pages of things because there's 120-something customers out there that are getting staffed. So it's one document, one upload for you guys. All right, any questions about the staffing packet? Are you guys all asleep yet? All right. Yeah. Mitchell, what office are you in? All right. We've got an other question from the list here. Who was that asked that other question? And did you already? I'll find you. Don't worry. Marquise, was that your question? Okay, so if I don't see anybody else typing here, I want to again say congratulations on getting so close to our goal. Keep plugging away. Work on those numbers from the missed orientation, and I think we'll get there. I think we'll get there without having to go through a whole bunch of new people. So our next meeting is July 14th. Just to let you guys know, Olivia is not on the call today because she's on her honeymoon. And she went on, I think it's a 12-day cruise up in the Scandinavian area. Ireland, Great Britain, all those areas. So have a great 4th of July weekend. And if you're off on Monday, enjoy the 4-day weekend. Otherwise, enjoy work because it'll probably be quiet on the 3rd. All right, have a great rest of your day and have a great 4th of July weekend. We'll talk to you on the 14th.